What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Black Ink Crew Chicago, Season 6, Episode 5. So, down to Non-Mag, we see Ryan, we see Ford, we see Don. They're chopping it up. Of course, they asking Ryan about what was up with him and Miss Kitty. Y'all know Ryan ain't going to kiss and tell. Hell, they had Ryan dead to rights on tape with him kissing with Kat. And he still ain't telling that story, so he was like, we cool, that's my homegirl. And of course they asked him, did he hit it? Ryan was like, what? Now what I noticed is that he didn't say no. But he didn't say yes. And he ain't spilled no tea on camera. So, I mean, I think him and Kitty are chilling. I think they hanging out. Are they dating? I don't know. Do I think they may be friends with benefits? Maybe. Okay. So there's that. Then Ford's talking about the fact that somebody done randomly hit him up in his DMs saying, look, you messed around with my sister back in the day, and I think you the father of her daughter who is 17 years old. Ford was a freshman in high school. That don't mean he couldn't have fathered no baby. That's not what I'm saying. But he was like, I can't remember. It's hazy. I'm like, I bet you can't remember back to your freshman year in high school. But I'm gonna just go on and knock this storyline out. I ain't dragging this thing out. But Ford's thing is, I grew up without a father. I grew up, wanting to know who my father was, and I didn't even meet my father till he was on his deathbed. I have no idea why this woman, like, my thing is, why is her sister reaching out to you and she not? Because here's the thing. Do I think it's right for a woman to keep their child away from the father? No, I think it's horrible. And I think that if Ford has a child, I think you've robbed him and her. But she's not the one reaching out to Ford. Her sister is. And so Ford was like, look, and of course Don said, look, you need to do some research. You need to Google. You need to really figure out who this woman is. And they did look on her Instagram, and there were some pictures, of Ford, so he knows that he knows her, but he don't know her. He don't remember her. And so he talked to the sister, and the sister was like, look, I don't have no reason to lie on my sister, y'all used to mess around, and it's a possibility. So Ford said, look, I'm willing to take the test, see if I'm related, and if she mine, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna do the right thing. And so, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We did see him run into Nikki on this episode, and he talked to Nikki about it, and he said that, the thing with him and Nikki is over. That it's a wrap, but he's glad that they're in a place where they can have a conversation, they can be civil, and it's not a whole lot of, mess with it or what have you. So, then we have that. Now, over to Second City, they are, Jess and Charmaine are talking about the aftermath of the fight last week between Zach and, old boy. Was it true? Is it true? And, nobody has heard from either one of them at this point. Neither one of them have reached out to Charmaine or to Jess. Now, Jess's thing is, get rid of both of their asses and let's keep it moving. I don't want that energy. I don't want that drama. Like, that whole situation scared me. Dude was blacked out. Like, it was a mess. They agreed that it was Zach, though. Zach was he was the protagonist. He was the instigator and was picking. They're not really necessarily sure why. But Charmaine said, look, I got second, third, fourth, fifth chances. And I don't want to make the same mistakes that Ryan made. But at the same time, I need to be fair. So her thing was, I'm not going to just fire him because he made a mistake. I'm willing to talk to him. I'm willing to be open to a conversation and give him a second chance. But of course, that is all contingent on him reaching out to Charmaine. Like, you got to come to work, bruh. Nobody knows what's going on. So neither one of them reached out to Charmaine. But Charmaine, again, like I said, is open to hear the situation and really give both of them, I think, a second chance. Although, I don't know how they work together at this point. After that whole situation, I don't know how they work together. You know what I'm saying? So, I think probably the saddest part of this episode, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Charmaine and Neek decide that they're going to go ahead and have the wedding that they sort of robbed their family of. And so Charmaine said as soon as she told her mom that they're going to have the wedding, honey, she said her mama was on the first thing smoking to Chicago. Her mother done shown up with the wedding book. She ready to get started. She ready to come up with signature drinks and all this other stuff. And Charmaine was like, look, me and my mom have been planning my wedding since I was a child. So there's a part of me that is absolutely happy to see, it's a part of me that's absolutely happy to see that my mom is excited. And I'm looking forward to doing this with my mom. But then there's another side of me that's kind of really over it. She said, but my mama can do whatever she want to do, however she want to do it. Just let me do my dress. Let me pick my dress. She can have the rest of the wedding. It was a great thing to see, but it was also sad to see her mom, because Charmaine did tweet about it, or she put on her Instagram, and she said that this was the last time her mother filmed. So this is the last scenes of her mom. And I don't remember exactly where her mom passed up, but I think it was kind of sudden. It wasn't like her mom had been sick. And so, she's talking about how her mom is her best friend and how they were planning this her whole life. And so it was sad to see, but it was also, it was a good thing to see how happy her mom was. She was happy to be a grandmother. She was happy to see Charmaine getting married. And so I think there's a piece there that she knows that Charmaine is in good hands. You know what I'm saying, you guys? But it was good to see her mom. They end up going dress shopping, honey. And, the first dress was... The second dress looked like a bridesmaid dress from... somebody getting married down to the strip club. I mean, I don't know what that dress was given. I don't know who was getting married in that dress. I don't even think Charmaine found that dress in that damn dress shop where they were. Charmaine bought that dress with her. Production had it in the back, because that dress couldn't have possibly been in that damn store. But whatever. She finally comes out in an ivory white dress that is a lot more traditional. It's very beautiful. It accents her curves. She hired Danielle to be her wedding coordinator, and she had another friend with her. And, Charmaine's thing was, look, I don't really need to be getting married in white. Like, I'm pregnant, and we all know I ain't no angel, so how I'm going to be getting married in white? And I think they agreed to ivory, because she wanted to get married in pink, honey, and all of them were like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. But, and the thing is this, whatever dress she buys, she better hope they can let it out, because she's literally pregnant. Like, even if they plan the wedding in 2 weeks, she's still going to be bigger 2 weeks from now than she is now. You know what I mean? Anyway, y'all. But yeah, so we see that they are planning an actual wedding. It's the anniversary of Pear Nova, and Pear Nova is the nail line, Ryan's ex-girlfriend, Rachel. It's her nail line. She has a nail shop, and she started it online. And Ryan said, look, no matter what goes down between us, we still family, and I'm going to always be here to support. He said, I remember her mixing up colors in the basement, working on this, years and years ago. So I can respect. I love to see this black magic, black girl magic, black magic, business owners, entrepreneurs doing it right. I love to see the co-parenting. I love to see how they have each other's back and they support each other, even in the midst of they bull. And I'm not saying they've always gotten it right or have always been perfect, but the one thing I can respect is that they put whatever personal mess that they are going through aside to do what's in the best interest of the family. So much respect for that. Now down to Second City, they sitting around chopping it up, doing what they do. And all of a sudden, Zach done posted on his Instagram, later for Chicago, it's too messy here, I'm headed back to Ohio. Now, mind you, he ain't told Drea, who's supposed to be his girl, he hasn't told either one of his bosses, and he just basically said goodbye to everybody on the Instagram post. So, of course, everybody's pissed off. Charmaine is like, I was going to give him a second chance. Like, if he had just reached out to me, we might have been able to work this out. And then, of course, with Drea, it's like, damn, like, a minute ago, you was professing, you wanted to be my man and all this other stuff. And now, I don't even get the courtesy of this ain't working out. I'm moving back to Ohio, but I hope we can make it work. Because the reality is, from Chicago to Ohio, I mean, it's doable. I mean, I don't have the atlas in front of me right now, but it's doable. It's not a ridiculous long distance situation. But he ain't talked to anybody. I mean, he just literally just rolled out. So I just, look, Drea, you dodged the bullet because there's something ain't right with this dude. Okay, something ain't right with him. Now we see Drea do a tattoo, and you know how they got to tell their story while they're doing a tattoo. And actually, the client is somebody who actually flew in from New York to get her to do this tattoo. And the tattoo was beautiful. I really liked the tattoo, especially I love the drawing of it, and the finished product was really nice. It was the guy was basically an ode to his girlfriend without putting his girlfriend's name on his body. You know what I'm saying? But it was a nice tattoo. And while she's doing the tattoo, she's talking about how she's been in a abusive relationship, and you know, she just not understanding what's going on with Zach and how he just kind of ghosted her. But like I said, if you've been in an abusive relationship, you see the warning signs that something ain't right with this dude. And my thing is, turn away from the light, Caroline. Like, there's clearly something this dude is off. So, I don't know if Zach is going to come back before the season is over. But I'll be honest, taking things outside of the show, y'all ain't lost nothing now. This is all part of the storyline, then it is what it is. But if this is really how this dude was really acting, you ain't lost nothing, okay? You ain't lost nothing. So, we see that True, though, he knows Ryan. You know, they both grew up from Chicago. They know each other. And they reached, you know, he reached out to Ryan because he saw Ryan, and Ryan asked him how things were going down to the shop. And he said, things are a little iffy. I got into it with old boy. Don't know if I'm really going to be able to work with him. I don't even know if I might have messed up my shot. I didn't, you know. And here's the word of the day is communication. Both of them, all they needed to do was reach out to Charmaine or Jess and have the conversation. Even if the conversation didn't turn out to be what they wanted it to be, have the conversation and say, look, I know I screwed up, but I want my job. What do I need to do to make it happen? But neither one of them did that. Now, True handled it a little bit better than Zach did. But True even reaching out to Ryan before and I can respect what he did. He said, look, I don't know if I lost my job or not, but if I did lose my job, what's good? Can I work here? Ryan told him, go ahead, see what's going on over there. If you can't make it work over there, then, I got a spot for you here. He said, but I'm letting you know now, those days of fights and all that, we don't do that over here like that no more. You can't just drop off and pop off because you feel like you were disrespected. And dude was like, yeah, I'm on parole. He was like, exactly. So, you let this dude get you out of character. You fight him. You go to jail. Who wins? And he was like, you right. So I can respect that. Ryan talked to the brother and gave him some real talk. So down to Second City, Zach finally shows up for work. And they welcome him back, and he apologizes and says, I let this man get me out of my character, and I know that I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And he was honest with them and said, look, I really wasn't sure where I stood over here, so I reached out to Ryan, and Ryan told me that, there was a position waiting for me if things didn't work out here. Now, I can respect where he's coming from. I keep calling that man True. His name is Fly. It was Fly Tatted. I apologize. I'm calling that man out his name. But I respect where he's coming from because what he said was, I want to be honest and let them know because I know that there's something between Charmaine and Ryan. I don't know where their situation stands, but what I don't want is for Charmaine to hear from somewhere else or from somebody else. And I don't want anybody to be able to carry that bone back to her and twist it and make it something that it's not. So I'm going to be honest with her and tell her that I did talk to Ryan and I reached out to Ryan. I can respect that. Charmaine understandably was upset that happened. She goes off and she basically tells them, look, if y'all don't want to work here, anybody else got somewhere they want to go. I mean, she goes off. And then she goes down to confront Ryan. Now, again, I know y'all are beefing and it's a competition and all that good stuff, but Ryan really didn't do anything wrong because Ryan didn't solicit that man and Ryan didn't give him a job. Ryan said, if you go back down there and you try to work that out, if it doesn't work out, then let's talk. But he didn't say, all right, bro, go pack up your stuff, come on down here. And so I feel like he did give Charmaine a courtesy. I feel like he did talk to Charmaine, but Charmaine is just She was gung-ho. She was upset. She went down and confronted him. And, of course, they ended up getting into an argument. And they done cussed each other out, honey. So, there's that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.